Welcome back to the Love Club. We're almost entering our fourth season of this wonderful show, and really grateful to see you all here this morning. And for those who are new, and as a reminder for those who have been with us many times, the Center of Love is a community rooted in connection, presence, and the shared recognition that beneath all our differences, there is something universal and sacred that unites us. We're not a place where people think the same way or believe the same things or walk the same paths. We are a place for people who are willing to come together in sincerity, curiosity, and goodwill. And in this space, my friends, each and every single one of you is both a teacher and a student. Indeed, my good friend Seneca, the Roman philosopher, said, "We learn by teaching, and we teach by learning." Yes, every single one of you here can teach and learn. And make no mistake, everyone has something to offer. In this space, we do not expect polish or perfection. We invite the raw, the real, the fresh. We value honesty over agreement, curiosity over conviction. In this space, we agree to work on ourselves in whatever way best fits, using whatever modalities, whatever scriptures, whatever systems resonate with you the most. And what you get in this space is exposure to new modalities, new scriptures, and new systems. And every step of the way, you get to choose. What will I keep and integrate? What will I consider and set aside? It's your choice. There's no dogma here, no hard and fast rules, no pope or ayatollah to tell you what's true and what isn't. In this community, the onus is always on the individual to find their own truth, to understand it well, and to express it as powerfully and as beautifully as you can. Nonprofit, savior-free, the world's first disorganized religion, where your fate and everlasting soul are in your hands. It's both liberating and a little bit frightening, but that's why we're here together. And since we are all engaged in this quest together, it only makes sense that we learn from each other and teach each other with our words and, more importantly, with our deeds. Though each person walks his or her own path, we are all walking together. And progress for one means progress for all. And of course, progress for all means progress for you. Our goal here is to create a safe and living container for exactly this kind of exchange. A place where people can be human, honest, and present with one another. A place where we can explore the big questions, practice compassion, and remember what matters most. All right, and this morning's talk is called The Breath Within, How Conscious Breathing Transforms Stress, Energy, and Awareness. And even the title points us towards something both simple and profound. Breath is so ordinary that we often overlook it. And yet it is one of the most intimate and essential realities in our lives. We are breathing from the moment we enter this world until the moment we leave it. Breath is with us in celebration and in sorrow, in rest and in struggle, in fear and in peace. It is constant, immediate, and always available. And yet most of us, myself included, spend very little time in conscious relationship with the breath. Now, as I have previously noted in a talk that I gave some months ago, the word spirit comes from the Latin spiritus, which means breath of life. And so when we ask ourselves, what does it mean to be spiritual? At its very basis, a spiritual person is one who breathes. And indeed, across all traditions, the breath has been seen as the bridge between body and soul, matter and mystery, the visible and the invisible. On a more practical level, when we're stressed, our breath changes. When we're afraid, it tightens. When we are calm, it expands and softens. When we're overwhelmed, it becomes shallow and hurried. And when we become conscious of breath, when we meet it intentionally instead of leaving it on autopilot, something begins to shift. We can regulate the nervous system more effectively. We can create space inside ourselves. We can return to the present moment and transition from reaction to response, from contraction to openness, from fragmentation to a greater sense of wholeness. And guiding us on today's exploration of the breath is today's speaker, Joel Cosman. Now, Joel brings a wealth of grounded experience to this conversation. Joel is a manual therapist and wellness practitioner with a focus on helping people restore energy, clarity, and balance to the body. His work draws on osteopathy, thank you. Hard to speak this morning. Osteopathic principles, fascial release, and nervous system regulation, all with an eye toward addressing the root causes of tension, pain, and dysfunction, rather than simply managing the surface level symptoms. How profound is that, my friends? In a world where doctors are constantly applying band-aid fixes, Joel is looking for the root causes and addressing illness right there. Now, Joel, on a personal note, is many things. He is a father. His son, Caden, is over here. And actually, Caden was there at our very first gathering of the Center of Love. He was a small baby in my arms at that time, and you can see how fast time flies. In my household, he is Uncle Joel. And as such, he is a close friend, part of the family that we choose, as I like to say. I've had the pleasure of learning a lot from this man, and as he begins his journey into breathwork facilitation, I feel a lot of excitement. Having sampled Joel's wares, so to speak, having experienced a breathwork ceremony with him, I can tell you that he's pulling many different threads together into a singular practice. And while I was in and out of this altered state from doing the breath work with him, I remember my mind frequently popping in to say, wow, he's really good at this. It's like, no, not now, mind. I'm trying to breathe. I'm trying to relax. Yeah, but look what he's doing right now. This is pretty awesome. I was like, yeah, I know. So all I can say is we're in for a treat. We have a very special individual with us today who's going to share his truth and some of his insights into conscious breathing. And I will say no more and simply invite Joel to come to the pulpit.
Okay, thanks, Ollie. All right. Good. All right, good to be here. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for the lovely introduction, Ollie. Stole some of my content there at the beginning.
He always does. He always.
What am I going to talk about?
He fills in the first half of the talk, and then you have to fill in the
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. As Ollie said, yeah, my name's Joel. I'm a manual osteopath. I've been working in the health-related field for 11 years, but my dad's been in the health-related field pretty much his whole life, so that really inspired me. And I've been working basically one-on-one with clients for 11 years in clinical practice. So the main body of work is very structural in my work. I help people get out of pain, improve movement, improve mobility. But one thing that really has stuck out to me over the years is stress. And especially with COVID, people are carrying a lot of stress, and that's a huge barrier for them to access wellness and to access healing. So there's other modalities that I have explored myself and helped facilitate and assist. Psychedelic healing, ayahuasca, psilocybin for 10 to 12 years, and those were profound, helped shape my life. And I'd say one barrier within those fields was the ability to move in those sessions, the ability to express yourself loudly Most of them are pretty quiet, and a lot of the facilitation is around being in your own space, not being too loud, not banging. And I always found that was a huge barrier for me. So that led me to more a different type of modality in the breath work. So my first breath work session was in a big room. We had mats on the ground, and we basically had full permission to express ourselves, to yell, to bang, to hum. And I felt that like such permission, it was such a beautiful experience. So that was many years ago, and that really led me to my own breathwork practice. So, like always said, we're looking for the root cause and the deeper cause of imbalance. And like I said, stress is what I've seen as the ultimate barrier. So before I start talking about breathwork and breath, I'd like to invite everyone to, plant their feet, arrive, notice your breath. You're welcome to close your eyes if you like. And just recognize your breath. Notice it. Is it shallow? Is it deep? Is it fast? Is it slow? Where do you feel it? Do you feel it in your chest or in your belly? Most people don't realize this, but your breath is constantly reflecting your inner state. And at the same time, it's one of the fastest ways to change that state. So we have full authority on our nervous system and how we show up and feel throughout the day. So we can always tune back into the breath and shift our state. It's a way for us to be with each other and breathe together. Okay. So in ancient practice, breathwork's been around for forever. It's nothing new. In India, practices like pranayama were developed to move life force, prana, through the body with the intention of increasing vitality and expanding awareness. In China, qigong uses breath combined with movement to circulate energy throughout the body and promote longevity. In Tibet practice, monks practice tumo breathing to generate internal heat and enter deep meditative states. Indigenous cultures around the world have used breathwork in ceremony, often paired with rhythm, drumming, or chanting to enter altered states, connect with spirit, and process emotion. Even in modern science and therapy, breath is now being used to regulate the nervous system and support healing from stress and trauma. I've seen it taught to young kids now, breathing practices for anxiety, depression, dysregulation, so it's really encouraging. So it's something very human and something that we all experience. Now the modern problem, the modern challenge is that we lose these natural breathing patterns. We often become shallow breathers, especially when we're afraid or there's small little things that scare us throughout the day. And these really start to add up. They're subtle, but they stack. And over time that can show up as different forms of dysregulation or dis-ease. Brain fog, low energy, tightness in the body, feeling stuck or overwhelmed. Your body really keeps the score, and these sorts of states are not normal. When you begin to consciously work with your breath, especially in a connected rhythm, you start to shift your nervous system. You move out of survival mode and into a state where your body can actually repair, release, and reset. And it goes beyond just relaxation. Breathwork can help move stored tension, emotional weight, stagnant energy, sometimes in ways that thinking alone cannot do. You can't think your way out of it. Okay, so with all that in mind, let's move into, I'm just going to let you know a little bit about the breathwork practice, because breathwork is very general. There's probably 1,000 different types of breathwork practices. The one that my mentor, his name's Trevor Wilhock of Pneuma Breathwork, and he has his own style. And his style of breathwork basically was taken from Dr. Judith Kravitz. That was his teacher. She teaches still, I think she's in her 50th year. Transformational breathwork is her style of breathwork. And Trevor's style mixes transformational breathwork with Hakomi, which is a style of bodywork and psychotherapy. So he mixes in the tools of Hakomi, which are words of nourishment, words of support, contact statements, along with the breath work. So we get clients into the breathing practice, which can take 5 to 10 minutes to get into that flow of breath work. And then once clients are kind of in their non-ordinary states and they're breathing, we'll notice their breath. Where's the breath going? Where's the breath not going? And oftentimes the body is mapped with emotion. Different areas represent different emotions. And where there's not breath going, where there's a lack of breath, that can indicate that there's a repressed emotion there. So we can make contact with that area and give it a contact statement like, you're welcome here to express yourself. You're safe here. And when you're in a non-ordinary state, those contact statements, those words can really land. They can really speak to the deeper parts of your brain. And it can be really transformational. And Trevor's work, for me, has been super transformational in a very short period of time. More so than, I'd say, most of my training, which is pretty wild because I've done a lot of training. So the other thing I mentioned too is I really gravitate a lot to Dr. Stanislav Grof's work. He was and is, well, he's passed now, but his work really lives on, holotropic breath work. And he was a psychiatrist back in the 60s working with LSD with patients, having huge breakthroughs, but LSD was scheduled, so he had to develop something to get his patients into a non-ordinary state. So he developed breathwork. So Dr. Judith Kravitz and Dr. Stanislav Grof, we owe like a huge amount of gratitude to their work because it really influenced the next 60 years. So the breathwork that I'll take you through, in this style of breathwork, it's a very activated style of breathwork, in through your mouth, out through your mouth. So your mouth is kind of open like that. So it's quite a vibrant inhale and then a really relaxed, soft exhale. So we say, and the exhale should just drop out. You're coiling in the breath and then your lungs are holding it and then you're exhaling. And basically you'll get into a rhythm that it's a circular breath. So inhale, exhale, and you kind of cut out the top and you cut out the bottom so that there's no pauses. It's a circular breath. So basically the breathwork practice today is going to be short. It's a short little snippet of what we usually do. Usually we're breathing for an hour and a half. So you're able to kind of access unconscious material, go deep. And today it's a little snippet so you get a taste of it. And at any point, if you feel lightheaded, you can just slow down. You can go back to a deeper breath. A longer exhale will actually drive the CO2 back up, and that will ground you.
Is there a place we should put the breath?
Yeah, good question. Up into your kind of upper register, up into the chest. That's kind of what it looks like. Yeah, good question. Yeah, because lots of breathing practices are down low, and those are more for regulating. Those are more for grounding. We're actually trying to activate our system. Yeah, so we're actually activating the sympathetic nervous system as opposed to the rest and digest parasympathetic system. Yeah, so we can start the music. Thanks. So invite you to find a comfortable position. Most of the time we're laying down, but you can totally do it sitting. And you can also lay down if you want. Yeah. Let your body settle. And when you're ready, we always do a grounding exercise. So I can lead you a little bit into grounding here, but most people seem pretty grounded. Yeah. So feel your feet, feel your toes. The initial stage is just to relax. Let your tongue go, let your jaw soften. Feel your hands, your fingers on your lap. Listening to the music. Letting the day go, the morning go. Feeling into your regular breath right here. Let's begin together. So we're going to take a breath into our upper register, into our chest. Keep going. Keep going. And it can be a little bit of work to get the breath going. So it's a big vibrant inhale up into the upper chest, and then you let that exhale go. And then at the bottom you pick that inhale up and let it go. So it's quite an activating breath. We should hear your exhale. We should hear your exhale. Nice steady flow. Stay with the rhythm. If your mind starts to wander, that's okay. Just bring your attention back to your breath. You might start feeling a little bit of tension in your face, seen a couple yawns, that's totally welcome. Allow your body to open. Keep breathing in and out. Filling up your chest fully. Let your chest expand and then drop. As you breathe in, you can use your imagination. Imagine you're creating space in your body. Anything you've been holding this morning you don't need, you can let go. The breath is guiding you. Body wants to shift slightly or move, you can allow that and trust that your body is intelligent. You're welcome to move around, shake your hands, and shake your head. beautiful thing about the breath work is you can turn up the amplitude. If you want to go faster, you can. If you go faster and you drive up the amplitude of the breath and the breath that goes faster, you start feeling more sensation. You start accessing deeper parts of your brain, the limbic system. More emotions will come up. If you go back to a slower inhale, a slower exhale, you start coming back. You start becoming more grounded. It is called breath work, so it does take a little bit of work to find a rhythm. You're doing great. I see some movement around, that's great. Feeling the energy in your body. Bodies are waking up from the morning. If there's a resistance there, that's okay. That's welcome. We're just befriending all parts of ourselves, even the resistance, even the mental chatter. That's all part of it. Lots of yawns. That's good. Okay. Now as we begin to slow down, we can access longer inhales, a more coherent breath we call it. Longer inhale, longer exhale. Let the inhale soften, let the exhale lengthen. And you start to bring your breath back to a natural rhythm. No effort. Feeling your feet on the ground. Maybe your hands are a little tingly. You can feel some energy in your head. Just notice what you feel. What's shifted. Maybe nothing, that's okay. It takes focus, concentration. Notice your mind. Notice your energy. Even the small shifts matter. Feel the space you've created together in a small group, hearing each other breathe. There's a lot of power in sitting together and doing intentional work. Feel the calm, the clarity, whatever is present for you. Let's take one deeper breath in through the nose together, and a slow exhale through the mouth. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And if you have your eyes closed, I invite you to open your eyes. Maybe scan the room, scan each other. A short little practice, and sitting down is different than laying down, but the power of shifting your nervous system and your intent and your attention with breath work is really quite powerful. And you don't need a breath work session or a ceremony to do it. You can do it throughout the day. And I find closing my eyes and just tapping into the breath, there's many different types of breathing. This one is more of an activated breathing. So we're looking to, our intention is to dive into some unconscious material. But we can do coherent breath, big long inhale, big long exhale, and that will ground us. You asked where we're breathing. Here we're breathing into the chest with this conscious breath work, but you can breathe into your belly. And those lower centers will ground us. You know, pelvic kind of chakra is more grounding. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, you can access that breath. But the breath work practice that we're talking about is more of an activated breath. Yeah, so thank you for your attention. Thanks for sharing your energy with me. And if you have any questions, I'm open to talking about it more. You can get my information via email or phone. And thank you for welcoming me. Thank you.